From secret tunnels built under the White House to underground passageways to help criminals escape from prison, join me for today's video. I'm exploring 15 amazing secret tunnels and passages. Starting with number 15, the White House. Well, kicking things off is the most iconic home in the United States, the White House. With so many security measures above ground, you can bet that there are literally digging holes to keep El Presidente safe. Since the 1940s, the discreet entry and exit points at the White House, known only to a select few, have existed through an inconspicuous passage opening on H Street. This covert route weaves through a closed-off alleyway and two subterranean tunnels, ultimately emerging in the White House basement. Historical accounts derived from early 20th century newspaper reports when public curiosity surrounded these tunnels long before heightened security concerns sealed off access to such intriguing information. Merely 2 blocks from the executive residence on H Street lies a distinct alleyway distinguished by a ram-proof vehicle gate and a subtle, bulletproof Secret Service kiosk embedded into the wall. These enclosed passages extend down the block, passing the imposing brick Federal Claims Courthouse and concluding inconspicuously at a rear doorway of the Treasury Department annex on Pennsylvania Avenue. It was constructed in 1919 to accommodate the Internal Revenue Bureau, the Treasury Annex, now officially the Freedmen's Bank, and prompted local builders Irwin and Layton to construct a tunnel connecting it to the department's headquarters across the street. The purpose of this underground passage remains uncertain, with suggestions ranging from safeguarding cash-carrying Treasury employees against armed robbery to a response to Washington's inclement weather. Number 14. El Chapos Tunnel. So this next entry is kind of a wild one and a pretty recent one to boot. In 2015, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman executed an elaborate escape from the maximum security Altiplano prison, showcasing a level of audacity that, although he is an undeniably bad person, captivated the world. This story is good enough for a film. El Chapo's getaway involved a meticulously constructed tunnel stretching more than 1,600 yards from beneath his shower cell. Now, despite Altiplano's reputation as one of Mexico's most secure prisons, this escape route showcased the high cost and sophistication of its construction, likely taking up to 10 months to complete. On July 11, 2015, Guzman was captured by security cameras at 8:52 p.m. near the shower area of his cell, the only part not visible through surveillance. After a 25-minute absence on video feeds, personnel initiated a search only to discover Guzman's disappearance. He had vanished through an intricately designed tunnel leading from the shower area to a house construction site 1.5 kilometers away in the Santa Juanita neighborhood. This tunnel, situated 10 meters underground, required Guzman to descend via a ladder. It measured 1.7 meters in height and just under 75 centimeters in width, featuring an artificial lighting, air ducts, and high-quality construction materials. And notably, a motorcycle found within the tunnel suggests its use for transporting materials and potentially aiding Guzman's escape. This audacious prison break not only highlighted El Chapo's cunning strategy, but also underscored the challenges faced by authorities in securing high-profile inmates. The intricate nature of the tunnel and its well-thought-out features demonstrate the extent to which criminal enterprises could go to orchestrate a successful escape, leaving authorities and the public astonished at the audacity and meticulous planning involved in El Chapo's disappearance. Number 13. The Bourbon Tunnel. About 100 feet beneath the streets of Naples lies a sprawling tunnel holding a peculiar collection of rusting vintage cars and remnants from wartime, originally intended as a covert escape route for the royal family in 1853. Commissioned by King Ferdinand II of Bourbon, who ruled over Sicily and Naples during a turbulent era marked by social unrest, this tunnel was conceived as a clandestine passage connecting the royal palace to military barracks. This subterranean pathway is carved into the volcanic rock beneath the city, and it's intricately linked to the existing aqueduct system from the early 17th century. Unfortunately, King Ferdinand II passed away before the tunnel's completion, leaving it abandoned and largely forgotten until World War II. During the war, these underground passages and adjacent cisterns served as air raid shelters, providing refuge for up to 10,000 Neapolitans. Exploring these historic tunnels today unveils remnants of that era: children's toys, gas masks, and personal items, including everyday objects like hairbrushes, as well as the remnants of toilet blocks and beds. Post-war, the Bourbon Tunnel transformed into a repository for wartime debris, storing everything from fascist statues to confiscated cars until the 1970s, when it faded into obscurity. The tunnel did experience a revival in the 2000s when it underwent restoration. And presently, vintage cars and wartime relics scattered throughout the tunnel are showcased in the eerie Bourbon Gallery, offering visitors a glimpse into this unique historical space. Adjacent to the Naples Underground, it provides guided tours inviting visitors to explore the darker corridors corridors of this historically significant passage. Number 12. The Biltmore Estate. The Biltmore Estate, it's a colossal mansion. It's got 35 bedrooms, 43 bathrooms, 65 fireplaces, and a sprawling 180,000 square feet. It was conceived as the opulent vision of George Washington Vanderbilt II, scion of Cornelius the Commodore Vanderbilt. He's a key figure in the Gilded Age and builder of New York City's Grand Central Terminal. Now, beyond the grandeur, the Biltmore is a labyrinth of concealed doors, hidden passageways, and secret rooms, seamlessly integrated into the decor to evade casual observation. Constructed in the late 19th century, these covert spaces served to afford the Vanderbilts and their guests additional privacy to discreetly facilitate the movement of servants within the mansion's common areas. In the breakfast room, an unassuming door blending inconspicuously with the wall behind a table opens to the butler's pantry, allowing servants to navigate unseen while carrying meals. The vast library, a haven for bibliophiles, houses a concealed passageway leading to the guest bedrooms. A balcony encircling the library's second story harbors two doors in the hidden wall. Now, this library also harbors a diminutive room, the Den, accessed through a door artfully camouflaged by the carving of St. Peter the Martyr, providing a secluded space for reading and writing. The billiard room reveals yet another concealed area, a wooden door beside the fireplace leading to the smoking room, where men retreated for brandy and cigars. Additional secrets unfold, including a trapdoor in the winter's garden floor, concealing access to a hidden space where tropical plants were housed in the winter. But the estate's surprises extend below ground too, with an underground tunnel in Antler Hill Village, once part of the Biltmore Dairy Barn. This stone tunnel leads to a winery, showcasing the estate's multifaceted and intricate design, where opulence meets discretion. Number 11. The Drakelow Tunnels. Located beneath Kingsford Country Park, just north of Kidderminster in Worcestershire, England, the Drakelow Tunnels stand a testament to a once top-secret underground military complex. Constructed between 1941 and 42, these tunnels originally served as a shadow factory of sorts for the Rover Car Company, specializing in machining parts for aircraft engines. The concept of a shadow factory, initiated in Britain in the late 1930s, facilitated knowledge and machinery exchange between industries. At Drakelow, this relationship unfolded as automotive and aircraft manufacturers shared expertise. The extensive underground complex comprised 3.5 miles of tunnels, utilized during World War II for aircraft production and later for tank engines throughout the 1950s. However, in 1961, a new chapter unfolded as the British government seized half of the tunnels, transforming them into a clandestine shadow government headquarters, one of 13 such sites across the UK during the height of the Cold War. This strategic move aimed to ensure governance continuity if external circumstances escalated, allowing the government to operate from the subterranean depths. Operating in secrecy until its decommissioning in 1993, Drakelow's tunnels and equipment were then sold into private ownership. Since the sale, and Drakelow Tunnels Preservation Trust has diligently worked towards restoring the complex, envisioning a comprehensive Cold War museum. While the task is formidable, sections of the tunnel are already accessible to visitors, offering a glimpse into the shadows of history. These tunnels bore witness to an era of secrecy and strategic planning, and as restoration efforts progress, the hope is that fewer secrets will shroud the fascinating stories embedded within this underground military complex. Number 10. Naples Underground. Well, we talked a little bit about Naples before, but beneath the timeless streets of Naples, a hidden world unfolds. A vast geothermal expanse carved into volcanic rock. Over the course of 2.5 millennia, this subterranean labyrinth, spanning an impressive 280 miles, serves as a testament to the city's rich history and the layers of civilization that have thrived above ground. The origins of this realm date back to the 4th century BC, when the Greeks sculpted the tunnels and caves to establish what was then called Neapolis, translating to New City. Subsequently, the Romans repurposed these underground chambers and passages to engineer aqueducts that supplied water to generations of Neapolitans. As the centuries unfolded, each era added its architectural footprint, constructing buildings on top the remnants of ancient infrastructure. The Naples Underground now invites explorers to witness this alternative perspective of the Italian city. Descending a lengthy staircase approximately 120 feet below the surface, visitors encounter a mesmerizing array of aqueducts, sewer tunnels, rainwater cisterns, caverns, catacombs, and pre-Christian tunnels, all embedded within these cavities. The subterranean landscape also has the roadway, rail tunnels, some of which lead into caves that still hold water from their historical uses as reservoirs. A highlight of this hidden network is the Greco-Roman Theater of Neapolis, where even the Roman Emperor Nero had a private dressing room. Throughout its storied past, the underground expanse served some diverse purposes. During the Second World War, the network was changed into an air raid shelter, and remnants of that era linger in the form of forgotten war relics, including weapons and vehicles still visible within the tunnels. In a more contemporary context, the subterranean space now harbors the world's first hypogeum gardens, an innovative experiment cultivating various plant species away from both pollution and natural light. This dynamic underworld sort of encapsulates the evolution of Naples, unveiling history, resilience, and adaptation that resonate through the intricate tapestry of its hidden passages. Number 9. The FBI Spy House. In the mid-20th century, the residents at 2619 Wisconsin Avenue held a unique allure for potential homebuyers, having a spacious front porch, 3 stories, and a location in a family-friendly neighborhood. What made it really enticing to the FBI was its direct proximity to the Russian embassy, situated directly across the street. The intrigue intensified in 1977 when the Soviet Union embassy relocated to a new building complex. Amid the chaos of constructing the expansive facility, the FBI and NSA clandestinely established a covert surveillance station right across the street. Despite minimal efforts to maintain cover, such as perpetually drawn curtains and the absence of mail delivery, the house was a hub of activity. Cameras were unmistakably visible in the windows, recording the comings and goings at the Russian embassy. Reports from locals even mentioned a telescopic lens protruding from a window late at night. In an attempt to enhance anonymity, 2 FBI agents eventually took up residence in the house, although their occupation was no secret. Public records listed the owners as FBI, and the inhabitants' job titles were simply clerk, really a spy. The FBI's intentions for this house went beyond mere observation. Operation Monopoly unfolded as a covert plan to tunnel beneath the Russian embassy, aiming to eavesdrop on conversations within the building and gather classified information. However, lacking detailed knowledge of the embassy's layout, the FBI hoped the tunnel would pass beneath a strategic location, be it a conference room or a break area. But the risk of it ending up beneath a storage closet also loomed large. The ill-fated tunnel faced challenges from the outset. Regular water leaks compromised the high-tech listening equipment, which had limited functionality underground. While the FBI acknowledges the existence of the tunnel, they've remained tight-lipped about which house in the neighborhood served as the starting point for this covert endeavor. Speculation centers on either the observation house on Wisconsin Avenue or an abandoned dwelling around the embassy on Fulton Street. The truth remains elusive, though, as the sealed tunnel guards its secrets, leaving the specifics of this Cold War-era operation shrouded in mystery. Number 8. The Rochester Library. In the children's sections of libraries, it's customary for young readers to open books in search of hidden wonders. However, at the Central Library building in Rochester, New York, the quest for secrets takes an unusual turn as visitors open shelves instead of books. This library's secret room carries on a tradition established in its predecessor, the Rundell Memorial Library building, where a secret room existed until renovations intervened. When the new Central Library building emerged in the 1990s, the notion of excluding a secret room seemed inconceivable, and thus a new hidden portal was crafted. Distinguished by its wheelchair-accessible wider door, albeit requiring adults to duck for entry, this covert space echoes its predecessor as a reading room adorned with a unique collection of dolls. The doll collection, now surpassing about 200, originated as a school project overseen by Principal George W. Cooper in 1934. His school initiated an international exchange of Shirley Temple dolls, seeking dolls dressed in native clothing of each of the 69 existing countries at the time. The response yielded approximately 180 dolls, crafted from diverse materials like wood and papier-mâché, adorned with hand-sewn garments. In 1940, this remarkable collection found a home in the library, where it's grown alongside the ever-evolving world. Beyond the dolls, though, this secret room has a quilt adorned with Rochester images, a creation by 4th and 5th grade history students in the late 90s. Now, while the room serves as a venue for events, its primary purpose does remain intact, to stimulate curious minds on a quest for concealed knowledge and buried secrets. The Central Library's secret room, it stands as a charming testament to the enduring allure of hidden spaces within the world of literature and exploration. Moving on to number 7, entrance to the Knickerbocker. Nestled beneath Times Square at 42nd Street Station Complex, an unassuming pale white door bearing the inscription Knickerbocker on a plaque conceals a historical secret that goes beyond its modest appearance. The reference is to the renowned hotel situated at the southeast corner of 42nd Street and Broadway, fondly nicknamed the 42nd Street Club during its heyday. Now, the hotel's reputation was tied to an entrance on the subway platform below, granting patrons direct access to the lowest level of the hotel's restaurants and bars. While it may seem like a clandestine discovery, during its inception in 1906, the entrance was anything but a secret. Built on land owned by the affluent John Jacob Astor IV, one of the wealthiest men globally at the time, the Knickerbocker Hotel emerged as a response to the surging popularity of the era. Renamed Times Square in 1904, the vicinity experienced a cultural shift, attracting business people, entertainers, and theatergoers following the opening of IRT's first subway line in October of that same year. What was once Longacre Square, associated with adult entertainment and prostitution, underwent a transformation into a hub of sophisticated entertainment, with the Knickerbocker leading the way by guiding patrons directly to its amenities. The hotel, adorned with details on its facade and captivating 30-foot mural by artist Maxfield Parrish within, ascended to prominence in New York's high society. However, its fortunes dwindled after Vincent Astor assumed ownership following his father's tragic demise on the Titanic in 1912. By 1921, the Knickerbocker closed its doors, and the building underwent various phases, hosting Newsweek's headquarters and garment showrooms. In 2012, Felcor Lodging Trust acquired the Knickerbocker with aspirations of revitalizing it into a hotel, adding another chapter to the saga of this historic site entwined with the evolution of Times Square. Number 6. Kastelruine Fluilengrot. So my pronunciation aside, this is perched on a hill in Valkenburg in the southern Dutch province of Limburg, the castle ruins and the Velvet Cave, or Kastelruine Fluilengrot. It offers a fascinating glimpse into the history and secrets hidden beneath this town. The story of Valkenburg's castle dates back to 1115, making it a historical site with a tumultuous past. It was initially conceived on a strategic hill. The castle faced destruction soon after its completion. Despite being repeatedly rebuilt and destroyed, the current castle structure primarily reflects the 14th century, with its final ruinous state occurring in the late 16th and early 17th centuries during the 80 Years' War with Spain. Now, subsequently, in 1672, facing the Franco-Dutch War, the Dutch Republic took charge of the demolition to prevent the castle from falling into French hands. The remnants of the castle today bear witness to that turbulent period in Dutch history. However, beneath the castle ruins lies a hidden world, a network of tunnels, corridors, and passageways known as the Velvet Cave. These tunnels originated from the mining activities of masons and miners who extracted marlstone blocks for the construction of the castle and other Valkenburg buildings. As the castle evolved, so did the tunnels, serving as secret passages connecting various parts of the castle. Surprisingly, many of these tunnels remained undiscovered until 1937. However, their significance became more pronounced during World War II, when the Velvet Cave served as a refuge for hundreds of Valkenburg citizens as American troops liberated the region from German occupiers in 1944. The cave walls here bear witness to this historical moment, adorned with etchings made by American soldiers who sought shelter there. Names, hometowns, and doodles carved into the soft stone during this time still linger on the walls, providing a tangible connection to the past. Beyond wartime history, the Velvet Cave's walls also feature drawings and carvings that delve into the local legends and stories of Valkenburg and Limburg. These artworks evoke a sense of mystery, revealing a long-forgotten secret and contributing to the allure of a ruined castle constructed atop a maze of clandestine passages. Number 5. Mount Rushmore Hall of Records. The iconic Mount Rushmore, adorned with the towering sculptures of 4 U.S. presidents, holds more historical depth than meets the eye, thanks to visionary sculptor Gutzon Borglum. Borglum's initial vision extended beyond the carved faces, aiming to create a monumental Hall of Records, a colossal time capsule that would celebrate and preserve significant American documents and contributions. Now, originally, he planned to sculpt the outline of the Louisiana Purchase on the rock face and inscribe it with pivotal events spanning from George Washington to Teddy Roosevelt's presidencies. When this vision proved impractical, Borglum embarked on an equally ambitious endeavor, the creation of an 80-foot-tall and 100-foot-long Hall of Records. This cavernous repository, nestled into the canyon behind the presidential heads, was designed to house brass cabinets containing copies of essential American documents, including the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. An 800-foot staircase would provide access to this grand time capsule, and in 1938 work on the Hall of Records commenced, with workers blasting the 70-foot-long cavern using dynamite. However, the government, wary of this ambitious project, insisted that Borglum complete the presidential heads before proceeding with the Hall of Records. Tragically, Borglum passed away unexpectedly in 1941, although his son finished the sculptural portraits, originally intended to depict the presidents from their waists. The Hall of Records project was abandoned. For decades, the unfinished hall lay dormant until 1998, when 16 porcelain panels were introduced into the chamber. These panels, sealed inside a teak box with a titanium vault and covered by a 1,200-pound granite slab, detail the Mount Rushmore memorial construction, providing insights into the selection of the presidents and offering a historical account of the United States. Borglum's intention was not for an immediate public viewing, but as the time capsule destined for future generations, in line with his original vision. As for Borglum's initial idea of an inscribed Louisiana Purchase sculpture, it encountered some hurdles due to its impractical scale and Borglum's measuring miscalculations, leading to Lincoln's adjusted placement. The complexities and intricacies surrounding Mount Rushmore contribute to its enduring mystique and historical significance. Number 4. Peto de Borgo. On May 6, 1527, Rome witnessed the onslaught of a marauding army, composed of 35,000 mercenaries and soldiers. This formidable force descended upon the city, driven by a confluence of factors: international land grab politics, simmering religious reformations ignited by Martin Luther's protestations a decade earlier, and the Pope's unfortunate location in the opulent yet poorly defended St. Peter's Basilica. Facing the invasion, Pope Clement VII found himself with meager defenses, a small local militia, and his private Swiss Guard. As the raiders breached the city, the Swiss Guard swiftly executed a crucial move, guiding the Pope through a rarely used escape route, a centuries-old secret passage leading to a heavily fortified Castle Sant'Angelo, situated 875 yards from the Vatican entrance. Escaping down the passageway, Pope Clement VII, allegedly clutching his papal robes to avoid tripping, left behind the Basilica, where the Swiss Guard valiantly fought on its steps. Out of the 189 Swiss Guard on duty that day, only 42 survived. The fall of the city was rapid, and the Pope endured a month of captivity in the castle while Rome suffered extensive looting. Reports indicated that the population dwindled from 55,000 to a mere 10,000 as residents perished or fled in fear. After paying a ransom and enduring another 5 months in captivity, Pope Clement VII managed a daring escape to Orvieto, where he cleverly disguised himself as a peddler. The seemingly unremarkable Peto de Borgo, appearing to casual observers as an ancient fortification wall, conceals a secret passageway at its summit. For years following the last papal escape, the Peto fell into disrepair, closed to visitors, though the Swiss Guard retained a key for the Pope in case of emergencies. In the year 2000, marking the Pope's Jubilee year, the Peto underwent renovation, temporarily reopening. Today, it welcomes visitors during limited periods each summer. To commemorate the fallen heroes of 1527, the Vatican's Swiss Guard initiates new recruits on May 6th every year, preserving the memory of that historic day when a secret passageway became the lifeline for a besieged Pope. Number 3. Carrera Wellington Tunnels. In the spring of 1917, near the town of Arras in France, the Allies possessed a weapon in the form of an underground city, concealing vital supplies at approximately 24,000 Allied soldiers. This subterranean expanse, located more than 60 feet beneath the city's surface, consisted of an extensive quarry of tunnels, providing troops with secure refuge from the chaos above. Tunnel warfare does have a historical precedent across the globe, and World War I was no exception. However, the majority of tunnels during the Great War were either shallow cut and covered trenches on battlefields or covert passages beneath enemy territories, primarily designed for espionage. The tunnels beneath Arras, however, stood apart. Since the Middle Ages, potentially tracing back to Roman times, these tunnels supplied stone for above-ground construction until the 19th century. In preparation for battle starting in the fall of 1916, a team of 500 tunnelers, led by the New Zealand Tunnelling Company and incorporating skilled British coal miners and bantam soldiers of below-average height, expanded and interconnected the ancient passages. During the offensive, the tunnels served as both shelter and strategic passageways for troops, potentially contributing to the success of the April 1917 surprise attack. Despite significant casualties, though, with estimates of up to 158,000 Allied troops and German losses of around 120,000, the offensive was generally considered tactically successful, nudging Allies closer to ultimate victory. In World War II, the tunnels experienced a revival as air raid shelters for local citizens before being sealed again in 1945. Slowly forgotten, they resurfaced in 1990 and were subsequently opened to the public in 2008 as part of a new museum dedicated to honoring the memory of those who served in World War I. Special emphasis is given to the tunnelers and soldiers who lived and fought beneath the surface of Arras, shedding light on a remarkable chapter in military history. Number 2. Royon Cave. In August of 1742, laborers working at the Mercat House in Royston encountered an unexpected obstacle while digging a post hole for a bench, what appeared to be a buried millstone. As they unearthed the stone, it revealed itself to be a peculiar door obstructing a sizable shaft measuring 2 feet across and 16 feet deep, complete with toe holes and resembling a ladder. The site's mystery deepened when a courageous young boy was sent down the shaft and discovered a peculiar cave partially filled with earth containing decayed bones, a skull, fragments of a small drinking cup, and an unmarked piece of brass. The Royon Cave, resembling a bell shape with dimensions around 25 feet tall and about 18 feet wide, showcased medieval religious carvings and recesses in the walls, possibly used for storage. The carvings, believed to date between the 1300s and 1600s, presented a challenge in unraveling their origins and purposes. While some associated the carvings with the Knights Templar, discrepancies emerged as some figures appeared in full plate armor, placing them a century after the order's disbandment. Alternative explanations posited the cave as an Augustinian storehouse utilized by monks from a nearby priory for keeping produce cool, possibly doubling as a chapel. Intriguingly, pagan symbols, including a Shila Nagig, a carving of a naked woman, also adorn the cave, adding complexity to its interpretation. The Shila Nagig is a symbol of fertility and protection against misfortune. It further confounded researchers due to its ambiguous origin. Archaeologist Keith Fitzpatrick Matthews proposed a compelling alternative theory, suggesting that a hermit residing in Royston in 1506 may have contributed to the cave's creation. Later records from 1540 mention a prison house, potentially referring to the cave as a possibly intended use as an oblate or a dungeon. Whether crafted by the Knights Templar, monks, a hermit, or another mysterious group, the Royon Cave retained its enigma since its discovery in 1742. Number 1. The Caves of Nottingham. Beneath the bustling modern city of Nottingham lies a vast and ancient underworld, a labyrinth of over 800 caves, tunnels, and passages carved into the soft rock. This subterranean maze, known as the Nottingham Caves, has a rich history that spans centuries and serves various purposes, ranging from workplaces and homes to secret passages, storerooms, and even air raid shelters. The roots of this Nottingham cave system can be traced back to ancient times, with the city's oldest recorded name being Teguocoboac, believed to mean place of caves in the pre-Roman British language. The sandstone hills on which Nottingham is built, shaped by the River Leen and River Trent, provided a soft and easily workable material for excavation. Castle Rock has secret passages and tunnels, adding an element of intrigue to the city's history, and additionally the caves functioned as storerooms, brewhouses, and public houses. In darker times, some caves served as prisons or dungeons, and during the Nottingham Blitz in World War II, they became vital air raid shelters. The Nottingham Caves survey, undertaken by researchers at Nottingham University, aims to digitally map these caves, leading local homeowners to discover previously unknown connections from their basements or gardens to this expansive underground network. Among the well-known cave systems is the Broadmarsh Caves, accessible to visitors as the City of Caves. Situated beneath the Broadmarsh Center, a shopping mall scheduled for demolition, this attraction offers guided tours through a medieval tannery, remnants of a medieval slum, and a sandstone air raid shelter. Another open to the public cave system is Mortimer's Hole. It's accessed from the brewhouse yard and holds historical significance as the alleged route used by King Edward III to capture Sir Roger Mortimer in 1330. Numerous establishments in Nottingham showcase the city's cave heritage. The Trip to Jerusalem, one of England's oldest pubs, and the Victorian music hall Malt Cross have cave rooms for patrons. The Lost Caves Cocktail Bar and the Hand and Heart and the Bell Inn, which is used by monks for brewing ale, all offer cave experiences. For those seeking adventure, the Cave escape rooms provide an opportunity to explore the gloomy subterranean chambers beneath Mansfield Road. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Thank you to our channel members.